Hey guys, what's up? It's once again mp4podcast.com, and today's day 3 of E3, and I'm going to just show you some of the things that's catching my eye, and if you want to read them, I'm going to put the links in the doobly-doo in the description box, and that little clicky box down there where you click on the links and it brings you to magical worlds. So anyway guys, let's break it down. Alright, Intel is bringing out a CPU that's going to have DirectX 11. Maybe they're going to try and integrate better GPU systems into their CPUs, hopefully. Vizio's 3D OnLive, so they're bringing OnLive to their Vizio TV's Android clock radios. Seems kind of interesting. It has built-in game system. Wall Street saying that the iPhone 4, or I don't know, maybe the iPhone 5 will be announced next week at the Verizon show. Maybe they're holding the iPhone 5 back. I mean, this seems weird that they would bring out an iPhone 4, 5 months when June's coming around the corner, and AT&T customers are going to get the iPhone 5. Who knows? Maybe they'll have both versions. Nobody knows. Here it is. It's LG Smart 3D display. A lot of people sometimes don't always believe me when I say this, but I kind of think this is the end of Nintendo. Now that I don't think they can pull any more tricks out of their hats. I know they were very creative with the Wii controls, and nobody else was doing it, but then all the other companies caught up to them. Microsoft, Xbox. They were the first to experiment with the 3D display without glasses, and now all the iPhone's going to have it, Android's going to have it. Apple just sent out a patent for it. I mean, I don't know how many more creative things that Nintendo can do. I think what the few things that Nintendo can do to stay alive is work on very strong IPs. They do have that kids market, which is very strong, and even older gamers play the Mario, the Zeldas. They're very into that stuff, and they'll buy a console just for those two games. But who knows? Here's a bunch of old farts talking about Blu-ray. So if you're into Blu-ray, you read the article. Come on, Polaroid digital camera printer and glasses. I don't think anybody cares about Polaroid. Come on, Polaroid's dead. Oh, if you want to read it, but hey, I just picked it for views because it has Lady Gaga. What can I say? Verizon wants to get Vizio TV service into all their friggin' devices or whatever. Screw you, Verizon. Let's see. Cricket's they're a cellular service. I know they're popular in other parts of the country. We don't really have them up here in the Boston area, but they're getting a Samsung Droid phone right here. So if you have Cricket, check them out. Now, Steve Ballmer is saying that the Kinect will be working with Windows, so maybe they're going to implement it in other ways. A lot of hackers and a lot of colleges are experimenting with the 3D world type. And I think it was one guy hacked it, and he's using two Kinects to make a kind of like a 360-degree 3D image in the computer or whatever. So that's kind of interesting. This is kind of like a tablet PC. It just slides right down, and boom, you got a tablet. Slides it right back up, and you got a laptop. Kind of interesting, wouldn't you say? Here, if you're a gamer, this is something that I'm kind of like interested in a little bit, even though I don't have an iPad. These are joysticks. They kind of like sticky, and these will emulate where your thumbs are supposed to be doing certain things. So that seems kind of cool. This seems like somebody's trying to get a Windows 7 handheld device working. Looks like an iPod screwed in a PSP or something. So moving on. Now this really makes me very interested in it. What you see here is the iPad in a in a mini arcade. And this really looks interesting because I got like one of those old toys I got when I was a kid. It's Galaxy or Galaga or whatever it is, where you just shoot the little spaceships coming down. Now, what I like about this and what I don't like about it is that some games would probably have to be viewed widescreen wise. So it'd be kind of cool if they had two different versions, a widescreen and and a vertical one. Um, it's interesting to see how many games will actually support this thing. I'm interested in the Samsung Galaxy tablets. They seem like I know I played with one at the AT&T store. I really like the display on it. You know, I think Samsung is out of all the Android tablets, I think Samsung's probably going to give Apple a run for their money. All right, here we have is that Tegra 2 gameplay. Now this is the new LG phones, and I believe a Motorola are going to have the Tegra chipset. Now the Tegra chipset is made by NVIDIA, and let me just say this: it's going to be a hard call. It's going to probably be Tegra or the Samsungs with the Power VR chips. These are going to be really good portable gaming systems. However, the problem with Android phones sometimes with gaming is since it's open source, there's a lot of different chips out there, and from my understanding, Snapdragon has 70% of the market, and they have the worst GPU. And a lot of games are kind of coming over to Android pretty slowly. Probably the best games is that whatever that dungeon game. I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that uses the Unreal Engine 3. That's probably one of the top graphical games. You got a couple from EA that look pretty halfway decent on a portable, and then the Game Loft ones, and that's pretty much about it. On the iPhone, you have the Epic Infinity Blade. You have Rage by id Software. You got all the good Game Loft games. There's nothing missing. So it's kind of like Android can have the better hardware, right? If this was out right now, this would be better than the iPhone and the iPod Touch by leaps and bounds. But however, if the software is not there, then what's the point? It's kind of like, some people would say, well, PS2 had more games than the Xbox, even though the Xbox had, better hardware. The library on PS2 was a lot more. Personally, I think the games are probably just as good on the Xbox. Not all of them, but some of them. I would say if you like Japanese RPGs, you probably was better off with the PS2. This looks kind of interesting. It's kind of like a scope, and then it Wi-Fi's into your your iPod or whatever iPhone. Hey man, everything's going 3D, and if you're broke, then you can get a ViewSonic camcorder. They're pretty cheap and they're pretty junky. I'll just leave it at that. Go look at YouTube samples for some of that crap. Hauppauge. Now I have a Hauppauge HD PVR. I have the USB edition. And the reason why I have the USB edition, I'm a laptop guy. I gave up the desktops a long time ago. I don't want to deal with them anymore. And I have to say I'm very happy with my Hauppauge HD PVR 1212. I don't really know why. They're well. I can kind of see. Well, maybe one of these is input or output, but I don't know why they would even come out with this unless you didn't want the USB one. But the USB one's great. Even if I had a desktop, I'd probably just rather have the USB one because you can stick the USB one wherever you like by the TV, and I have a 16-foot USB cable that runs over to my laptop. So my HD PVR was like right next to the television. So I don't know. Unless you want to run five cables across, component and left and right audio. Now here's something that's kind of interesting, but not kind of completely interesting. Here you have Orb. Orb is a streaming video service. Now they're going to be streaming Netflix and Hulu to your PS3 and Blu-ray players with a special disc. However, you don't really need this thing if you go with one of the alternative. Well, Play On, which is probably the best one out of them all, is probably $40 for the year, but lifetime membership on Play On version 3, where you're grandfathered in, that's $80. And they stream everything. They stream Hulu, all the episodes, everything that's on Hulu's website, you get streamed. With Hulu Plus, they block some of the stuff. That's the paid Hulu service, because they have to work out certain agreements with certain shows and certain networks and whatever. But the quality is great. There's also T-Versity. When I tried T-Versity, it wasn't as good as Play On. Maybe they improved it. I don't know. But the thing that I like about Play On, they give you a 14-day trial. So if you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it. I'm not sure if T-Versity gives you a trial. I'm having brain farts, guys. It's been a long day. Well, anyway, here we have the Sony PlayStation phone. Really, guys, it's just an Android phone with buttons. Maybe they'll probably try to get some games to support these buttons. Maybe they will support future, PSP games. The only thing that's a little weird when I was looking at this was, they're playing Asphalt 5, which is a GameLoft game. It's just it's an iPhone Android game, and the guy's pretending like he's playing the buttons, but it's just really, you just tilt it, whatever. So it's kind of interesting what's going to happen with this thing. I don't think it's going to be the official PS2. I don't even know how to pronounce this. It's Huawei. I don't know. Seems like they're going to have a pretty good Droid phone. Probably be cheap or whatever. So if you're interested in getting it, maybe, I believe that this is prepaid, or if it's one of the other ones I was looking at, I believe it is. So if you're interested in getting a brand new prepaid Android phone just to screw around with, take a look at that. Dell Venue, this is another one. Dell's unleashing an unlocked phone. I guess you can take it any carrier you want, so check that out. Now, Boxy released a Voodoo and iPad app, so you can get Boxy on your iPad or on your Voodoo, which is kind of cool because, like, Boxy has a lot of channels. So, if I can get that on my iPhone, I'd be pretty happy, and just get the cables for it. What can I say? It's Doctor Who. Speaker prototypes, hands-on. Check it out. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but I know a lot of you guys are. Hulu Plus is heading to Android. Now, there are some hacks to get Hulu working with Flash, and Hulu keeps on blocking those hacks, so you have to you're fighting back and forth. However, I do want to say, if you do get Play On, there is a Play On application for the iPhone and iPod Touch, and also there's a way, like, you go to playon.tv on any of your iDevice, and it puts like a widget. It looks like an app, but it's not. It's like a little widget, and it uses HTML5 video to stream. So you can either use the widget or the app, but you need Wi-Fi. I don't know. This looks kind of cool. This looks like a spaceship from, like, I don't know, Battlestar Galactica from the 70s, or Buck Rogers, like one of the evil spaceships or something. It's JVC, and it just looks cool. What can you say? Blu-ray, Star Wars on Blu-ray. George Lucas, we just want the originals. That's all we want. So please keep us in mind, and maybe we'll buy you stuff again for the 1,000th time. Alright, guys, are you a Pac-Man fan? Look at this. This is a joystick for the iPad. Come on, guys. This is Pac-Man at its best. Alright? What can I say? I'm telling you guys, a lot of you guys, if you're watching my channel for the first time, these touch devices are going to be, they're pretty much going to put all other handhelds to shame pretty soon. Now, this is the Dell Streak 7. I believe this is a little bit bigger than the other Dell Streak. Uh, Dell seems like they're trying to work in the middle of, not being a small, like a cell phone, not being a huge tablet. This one looks a little bit bigger than the other Streak they have. However, I hear good things about the Streaks all the time. Box, he's making a deal with CBS for digital content sales. You know, with the Naruku box, you can pretty much buy for any network. So I don't know. I think Boxy should probably add Amazon on demand or something like that. I mean, if you want to buy shows directly from CBS, I guess that's fine. I mean, I don't think CBS servers are going to go out of business. But however, I don't know. Is this, probably? I think they're probably better with Amazon on demand with the Naruka box. All right, for all you guys who are filmmakers, this is probably going to be the best camcorder in the world. This is the Red Scarlet. This has been pushed back for months or maybe over a year because the indie filmmaker, what got really popular was the digital SLRs. The Canons, the Panasonics, and the Nikons, and Canon pretty much took all the heat away from the Red. However, I think the guys at Red, they reworked it. They probably made the Red a little bit better, and still there's some problems. Excuse me. Sorry if that hurt your ears. But but the but the red is probably really realistic terms better suited for the filmmaker. I mean, it's gonna have better audio inputs. It's just gonna be what a real professional filmmaker needs, and it's gonna be built for filmmaking. Don't get me wrong, the Canons and the Panasonic and the Nikons are really good, but you have to kind of work around all those problems. Hopefully, you don't have to deal with those problems working with an HD DSLR. So that's pretty much it. I'm losing my voice a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all the links in the description box. Check them out. It's CES, whatever. We're all geeks having fun. Once again, guys, this is mp4podcast.com signing out. And if this video has helped you, please subscribe to the channel. Please rate the video. Please leave a comment. Please favorite the video if you can be kind enough. Once again, you have yourself a great day. Later, guys. Bye.